Welcome to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about energy. We're going to talk about energy around you predominantly and around people that you may know or strangers, and how to protect ourselves and how to recognize it if it's possible to recognize it, and how to start to recognize energy. That's something that we need to talk about. There are different methods of seeing energy, but one of the most powerful ways to see energy is by looking at trees. So basically, whenever you're anywhere in the vicinity of a tree, roughly about 50 yards, 100 yards, just sit down and just look at the tree. Now, I often get people confused when I say look past the tree. I have to ask other people to explain. So it's like looking through a tree. Don't look at the tree, look through it. And part of the pure energy healing course and pure energy crystal healing course, which I do, I teach this, but we go into great depth into this. But let's just say, when we look, like now I'm looking at a tree, okay? I can focus on the tree or I can focus past the tree. So I'm not looking at a tree, I'm looking above it, further away, but then at the same time, your senses are still seeing the tree. So I can still see the tree, but I'm not focused on the tree. When you're not focused on the tree and looking past and further forward than the tree, all of a sudden you'll start to see energy that surrounds the tree. That's called life force. Every creature on this planet, every plant, every flower has life force. So that's one way. It takes a little bit of time. I think not getting too stressed about it and not trying to see all the time, because a lot of people find that confusing with me, because they'll say, oh my God, I've seen it. Okay, that's enough. Don't need to look anymore. Now do the work. So that means you look as you're working with your client, you can briefly glimpse the energy. So you're not like focused on it all the time, because I think there's a stress energy to that. So I don't focus on energy, but if it presents itself, beautiful. So, okay, that's one thing. Mountains, rocks. The mountains predominantly have energy. So if you're near a hill or a mountain, have a look. A tree is one, but definitely flowers. Just look around them, you'll see the energy around them. After a while, you'll start to realize that the energy around the tree is either strong by color or very light by color. Don't be fooled by the colors, thinking that the strength of the color means it's stronger or it's weaker in energy, because sometimes I made that mistake very early on. But there are patterns to it. The other thing as well, if you look carefully enough on the bark of a tree as you run down looking past it, sometimes you can see if there's any energy that is kind of, how do you explain, unusual energy around a certain place where the physical issue is of the tree. It's true. Sometimes you can see the tree is not well at a certain place. Phenomenal, really. So when you start to do that, then you can sit down and people watch. And people watching is fantastic, especially at airports. Why? Because people are meeting each other and the energy is strong. So you can see the energy far greater there. And you can feel it too. You feel energy. It's fantastic. There's nothing wrong with going to an airport and sitting and people watching. Best place. That's where I did my most of my training there. I could feel people and sense their energy. I could see if people were sad, if people were angry because somebody was back and they had to be with them. Yeah, it's lovely to see you. Not. Oh my God, how long are you going to be? When are you leaving? Just got here. Yeah, gosh, it's brilliant. So, energy. I guess when I first began the healing work, it took about a few months before I started to see patterns of energy around people and their disturbance of energy pattern. So I give you for instance, a good healthy energy to me is one where it kind of resonates round about to about from here to about here. Okay, I've met people that their energy resonated, so my eyes couldn't even see how far it was. I would like, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, your energy is phenomenal. And they just smile and they just knew, yeah, there's something going on inside you that is phenomenal, and please share. Yeah, only a few, but yeah, it was incredible. Then you'd meet people, you'd see people lying down, and it was a dual thing actually, because my senses were touch on energy, not touch the skin, but touch the energy and feel where the disturbance was, or the issue, the physical or emotional pain was. So we call it scanning. We'd scan the body, we'd go around the body, scan it, and then, oh, there's something here. And sure enough, X never marks the spot as you're looking at the leg which is damaged, but actually further up at the top of the head might be where the issue begins. So that is another thing we should never rely on, what somebody's issue has presented itself to as an end result of the cause which started somewhere else. So if you have a blank canvas, I know I'm going into energy work here, but it's still interesting. If you scan the body with your hand, you can feel hot, pins and needles, cold. You can feel pain in your physical body in the same place where you felt it sometimes. It's incredible. No, let me rephrase that. You can feel the physical pain in your body where the pain is, right? And yet you could be somewhere else, because where you're healing is where the real root cause is, but what they're feeling is what you're feeling. It's really complicated now. I'm going down too deep. But anyway, right, when I'm sat here looking at my client, the healing bed's there, they're on the healing bed, I'm sat down. And what I used to do is take a few minutes just to lie my client down and get them into a nice, comfortable mode so they're feeling well. And then I cover them with a purple or pink cover all across their body, up to about here. So I start to look at the energy like I would do a tree or a mountain, and I'm seeing the energy. And as I'm looking at it, the energy on the top is equal to the energy on the bottom, by the way. So sometimes you can be confused, but it doesn't matter. When you're doing healing, it can penetrate right the way through, no problem. But as you're watching, you can see, okay, the head is like weird. There's something going on. And there's either like the energy around the head is split and there's like a hole or a gap, or the energy is shaking or changing, or there's a mass of energy occurring. Normally when there's a mass of energy occurring, like so it's around you like this nicely, and then all of a sudden it goes up here and then goes down and then goes, so you know there's something taking place there. A lot of the times that's physical issue. So they might have a headache, they might have a tumor or something really bad there. So you go over and you then rest your hand above that place where that issue is. You can feel it as you work. You can start feeling really hot and really, really strange feelings. But as you just gather the energy, which comes in through the earth, the ether, the cosmos, it's coming through you naturally, and you're laying your hand there, you can heal that, you can help that energy, and you can clear it, or you can give the energy what's needed. The universe is clever, it knows. That's why so many Buddhists on the top of mountains, they heal each other by way of just touching each other gently, by going up and down and healing issues in their body. Anybody else who watches that would think it's sexual, but it's not. Buddhists in those mountains, they don't have pharmacists, so they have to rely on each other to help each other. So it's phenomenal how we all understand this by way of touch or hugging or just a handshake or whatever. So this is different forms of healing. So going back to understanding healing and seeing it, when you're sat watching people, you can see that energy around them. And back 4 years ago, the energy around most people was quite beautiful. It was like I often say, if you've come from the UK, we had a Ready Brick advert, and it was an energy that shone around a young boy who was walking to school after he's eaten his porridge. And that's kind of like true. It's that kind of energy, but not as like bright as that. It's catching a glimpse of that energy. And it's fascinating. And what happens is when you people watch, you can see that if they're sat having a coffee, if they're walking, if you just look carefully, you can sometimes just spot that energy and see if it's healthy, if it's unbalanced, if there's really major issues. And that's how we practice. As healers, we generally practice that way. Sometimes we can catch a glimpse of colours in that energy field. And colours are very personal to you. So if you see a colour around somebody, let's say it's yellow, in my understanding what yellow is will be different from your understanding what yellow is. But whatever you're catching a glimpse of is the correct colour for what you believe it is. And that's kind of throws a lot of people out because they believe in a book and this is the only colour that is. Like for me, yellow is all about inner power, inner warrior, inner strength, the light. It's about yes energy. It's everything that you are doing right. So yellow is the greatest of protectors of energy, in my humble opinion. That's why yellow is always used for radiation spills. When people go into those places, they're wearing yellow outfits. There's a reason why they're wearing yellow. Yellow has a phenomenal protection. That's why when you get crystals of yellow, they're phenomenal, they're powerful, they're filled with happiness, joy, protection, and inner power, inner warrior. Yellow is a very powerful color. It's the sun, it's that energy. So when I look and so I might be with a group of 100 people or say 80 people and I'm doing a talk and somebody will ask, can you see anybody's energy? I'll have already pointed out one person's energy inside myself. It's already there. And normally, funnily enough, it's either high or very low. It's never in between. It's funny that how you're attracted to either low or high energy. So for instance, I was in Ireland and I spotted one person while I was on the stage. And at that point, I was sending that person healing as I was giving a talk. And the reason why is because that person was very low in frequency, vibration. Why did I send that person healing? Not just because they were low, but I wanted to raise the energy of the room high. If somebody is in a room and there's very low energy around them, you cannot get to the level that you want to without healing the weakest link. So I focused my energy on my conversation and my truth on them. So everything that I was saying, they was resonating with, and slowly but surely, they were getting stronger, letting go, getting healthier, healing, and feeling the strength of spirit and the energy in that room. And then all of a sudden, the energy rose for me to do my healing work. So these are the things that I've learned as a healer. And when people ask me, why do you get up so quickly and walk away? I thought you were strong. I thought you were powerful. I thought you've learned how to protect yourself. And that's a really good point. And the more I've learned this healing work, the more I just can't be bothered to sit around people who are filled with negativity. And a lot of people got upset with me and say, well, surely that's the point of being a healer. And I would turn around and say, look, I know the difference between somebody who wants to be healed and wants to feel better and those that wallow in the cesspit of negativity and bad energy. So some people don't want you to help them. Some people just want to be in that energy. They're not ready because whatever their expression is, whatever their experience is, they haven't gone through it yet. They haven't experienced it enough to say, okay, now I'm ready to change. So it's like me coming up to you when you're falling and I catch you. If I catch you, it means that you haven't experienced what you needed to by hitting the floor. So every time I catch you, you never really go through what you need to go through. So the older I got, the wiser I got, the more I learned to let people be and let them experience what they need to. And then I learned to look up and say, look, if anybody needs my help, guys, I'm here. Okay, that's powerful. Not interfering with people, sticking your nose into their issues and problems and stuff. I'm here if you need me, and I'll do my best. Can't promise anything, but I'll do my best. And that really was a secure and powerful moment in my life that I was able to let go and not become that person that always puts themselves on a back burner and helps other people when I need to help myself. Brilliant, really. So energy, how does it work predominantly? Depending on how you're feeling is how your energy works. So basically your soul, your spirit, however that is in peace or in chaos, it will produce an energy. So you can't lie. Energy doesn't lie. So when I'm looking at somebody and they're telling me something and I'm looking at their energy and I'm like smiling inside, not saying anything because I don't want to call them a liar, but I know that what they're saying, they're either lying, they're in deep stress, or the opposite of somebody's lying about being upset and angry, but really they're happy inside. Sometimes people can do that as well. Very rare, but some people will say, oh, not too good. And I'm thinking, no, something's just happened and you're very happy, but you're pretending not to. So you're hiding it. It happens. Not often though. More often than not, it's somebody pretending being happy and actually they're very sad inside. That's normally 99% of us, all of us. We all suffer from that. We can't help ourselves. We don't want to put burden on people. But there are people who like to put burden on people for the sake of putting burden on people. And that's another discussion. But actually looking at somebody who's vibrating at a frequency which is phenomenal, who isn't saying anything and not trying to be anybody or be anything, I'm like, wow, your energy is amazing. And I used to run towards them and strike up a conversation. I did. I used to say to people, your energy is phenomenal. And I wouldn't say tell me why, but I'd be interested in knowing why their energy is so good. And it's fascinating because those people, this is a golden nugget. You're just going to think, oh, but it's a golden nugget. Some of what hit me. The more people I went to who had that energy, which was powerful, I soon found out that they didn't want anything or need anything or didn't need anybody or were just solely at peace with themselves. Phenomenal, really, because the height of your greatest energy, of your greatest power in immune system in your body is not needing anything or wanting anything or craving anything or expecting anything. So I used to sit with these people and it was a general conversation about absolutely nothing in the sense of what the mainstream program is. So they've broken free from it. They are happy just being. Just being what, Mark? Exactly, just being. Do you not understand that? Why do you have to be happy with being rich, being powerful, being famous, being wealthy, being beautiful, being sexy? Just being. Happy in my own skin, happy in my own life, happy in my own thoughts, happy in my own surroundings. Doesn't matter what those are, just happiness. And that's rare, but when you see it, you get to really understand that happiness can only be achieved when you are just being. I don't know what Tracy, come here. We haven't been here for a while. How long's it been? Tracy, come here. Yes, Sharon. How long's it been since we've listened to this guy? Get the popcorn and Coca-Cola out. Should be a great time. Come on, listen to it. Look at his top. He's got a lovely top. Wow. What is it? Oh, it looks like it's dream catchers. Isn't he great? Yeah, get that. But more popcorn. What's that? That's not salt. I don't want salt. What are you giving me salt popcorn for? Oh, get some caramel all over it. Come on, sit down, listen to him. Don't know what he's talking about, but ain't he lovely? He is sometimes bothers me. I don't know what he's talking about, Tracy, but let's just enjoy it. Coca-Cola, gulp, gulp, gulp. So you realise really soon that when you look at somebody after learning energy and you're understanding energy and feeling energy, that energy is a unique thing around each individual person. And if you look carefully enough and feel it enough, you're not touching the body, you're feeling the energy, you can feel distortion. Distortion is like a radio signal kicking out a certain frequency and then all the way around perfectly, and then another frequency is all off. And what would be a good example of that? People who have decided to intake certain things that are not natural. So anything which is man-made that has been put into a vial and they've taken it into their body, you can see a clear distortion in the body. Why? Because the physical body, which is, of course, to anybody else. Let's call it a spacesuit, okay? But the physical body is different from the spirit that you are. So when your soul says, why are you contaminating your body with non-foods and vile vials, putting this into you? This is not compatible. This is not part of what you came into this world for. You came into this world for natural, organic fruit and vegetables. You came into this world for healthy foods, or medicines, because that's exactly what food is. It's a medicine to the physical, but it also then brings nicely the connection to the spiritual. So they both fit well together. That's called balanced body, mind and spirit. So when you see somebody who's out of balance and they're sat there, I can say, and I did this about 3 years ago, as soon as people started rushing because they were panicking about something which was a flu, which basically means venting of the body and clearing of the body, and now they're sat there, they're all over the place, they can't think straight, they've got headaches, they've got migraines, they can't see properly, their heart issues, I could see it all, and I'm saying that person I can see has been jibby-jabbed. And one of my friends went over just to, they did it, I don't know whether they did it to prove to the person sat next to him that it was true, but they went over and just had a joke, said, I hope you're all safe, have you all had your vaccines? And this woman says, oh yes, I'm on my third one now, and then came back and said, he's bloody right. And then what happened was my friend says, okay, show me somebody who hasn't. And I said, yeah, but the point being, if you go back over there and say that, they're going to say yes anyway. So I said, that person over there hasn't had one. He went over and he says, I hope you're all safe, and I make sure you don't take that poison. And this woman said, I haven't, and I will never. So it was like, and I'm not sat there thinking, oh yeah, great, I'm right. I'm sat there just thinking how awful it was for that person that I'm still looking at and what they're going through. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling the pain and suffering, what they're going through. I could feel the headache. I could see the headache. I could feel that person was lost. Nowhere. Hello, is anybody there? No, because it's gone. That connection of your consciousness is not just the eyes that see, but it's the eyes that feel, that connect. That connection's gone. That no meditation, no understanding and it's even worse for those who were spiritually aware, or so-called spiritual aware. I've heard stories that people out there who actually went online and told their followers, who were so-called spiritual people, that they were going for a jibby-jabby and they were going to clear then it out of their system to show you how easy it is to clear it out. And then a few months later, that person is filled with chronic pain. And then when asked that person, could it have been the jibby-jab? They go, oh, no, it's nothing to do with that. Oh, God. Oh, help. So, yeah, going back to, I know I've diverted a little bit, but still, it's all interesting. So, for me, I decided, and I don't know about you, but limit yourself to people who are angry, who are always frustrated in life, who are always needing of things, who always moan, complain, and their conversation is always negative. Stay away from them, because you will attract that. You will create it. It will be in your energy. And before you know it, it's a bit like I love my brothers to bits, but one of my brothers, if I'm ever around him for longer than 15 or 20 minutes, I go away and I end up swearing all the time, right? Because he swears all the time. It's part of his. He's a swear. He swears. It's just like in Yorkshire, some people swear all the time, right? Or wherever you are in the world. And I find and back then my partner then would say, Have you seen your brother? I nearly said his name. Have you seen your brother today? Yeah, I can tell. Right? Well, that's energy. Just because it comes out of the mouth as a noise, it's energy, and you pick it up, and it becomes part of you. So, like, if you're with somebody who's negative, you'll pick that up, and you will become negative. You will vibrate at the same frequency if you're not strong enough. And most people, to be honest, are not strong enough these days. So when you're in an energy field with somebody else, especially if there's 2 or 3 vibrating at the same conversation, you'll find yourself being pulled into that and being part of it instead of standing back and saying, no, actually, I don't agree with any of that. Have a lovely day. See you later. And I'm off. I don't want to abuse myself. I don't want to be a battering ram for other people. I don't want to be a punch bag for other people's weaknesses. I don't need that in my life. I've worked hard to become strong and happy. So misinterpretation is another thing. Sometimes you can be with people that you can say something and it can be misinterpreted completely, and then it's frustrating and you say, I didn't mean that, even though they felt you meant it. No, I didn't mean that. Too late. They've already got it in their head, and sometimes they get so upset because of words and sometimes of what you said. I made a video, the last video before this, and I kept saying headache all the time, and I what I thought I was saying was nightmares, night terrors. That's how easy it is when life disrupts you. And I had spent no more than 15 minutes in the village for the first time next to a microwave tower. And that's what it did to me. It messed me up completely. And it does. It's meant to mess you up. It's meant to confuse you. That's the energy it creates. And it's negative. And it's absolutely destroying cells in your body. It's messing your head. It's messing anywhere where there's water, because that's what they do. So again, a great lesson to stay away. I'm feeling a bit better now, so my conversation's a little bit better. A little bit. But it's going to take a while to get back into the normal balanced energy. So we keep away from all things that are not natural. Get yourself into Mother Earth, Mother Nature, the forest, the sea. The sea is the greatest vacuum cleaner for our negativity. If you are walking around with negative energy, dirty energy, it's like your clothes. If your clothes are mucky, what do? You wash them. Same with our energy. Nobody talks about this. It's important to cleanse yourself of negative, dirty, heavy energy of the surrounding, the universe, the radiation, the phones and people and bad places that have picked up grief, death, suffering, attack. That can be anywhere. It can be inside, outside. So you can walk, sometimes you can even walk in Mother Earth and think, oh, this is heavy. And at times it could be spirit trapped in between two worlds. Something bad could have happened there. So it's not always the case that Mother Earth is healthy. Sometimes we need to heal Mother Earth. And that's why many healers have realized that we have to plant good energy. We have to sit there and give good energy as well to help back that earth, because the earth is being killed day by day by the parasitical darkness that controls all food, and they overkill the earth by constantly plowing it all the time and not giving it chance to live and breathe and to reproduce its energy. That's why everything's dying on Mother Earth. Now, I'm not turning into a climate person. I'm just saying that there is things that we can do to help Mother Earth and make a difference. That's planting crystals by leaving it alone and giving it healing. I often sit and heal Mother Earth. But one thing I don't do is sit and heal death towers. That is beyond my understanding, and I'm it throws me all over the place when people say that we have the power to change death towers and we can kill that energy and change it into. Sorry guys, I'm still yet to understand healers who talk like that, because the frequency from them are ridiculously dangerous, and by sending love to it, I've not seen no proof that they've been able to do that, or in themselves after they've injected themselves and say they heal themselves. All I see is the opposite, and somebody who's completely in a place of, I don't know what land they're in, loopy land, I don't know. Maybe they've got so much ego in them that they think they can do anything, and yet we see them dropping down or becoming terminally ill or chronic disease instantly, but then they say it's nothing to do with that. I healed it. Yeah, sorry, I just don't get that. I try to be balanced and I'm very, I think I'm rational. And when I talk about this work, I love talking about it. You know, I normally find when I talk to somebody about something like that, they get very angry when I say, well, how do you do it? But that energy is still the same. It's still giving out the same frequency. It's not changed to love. And you're ill. What about you're sick? They get very angry. Like, I don't get angry when people talk to me about energy and ask me, well, come on, what do you see? I said, I'll show you. If you want me to show you. And I'll just go up and down their body for a second. And I'll go, okay, you've got an issue at the back of your head there, your neck. How the friggin' hell do you know that? I've had an issue here. Or there's something in your shoulder. There's something either in or on your shoulder. I did that about 4 weeks ago. I've still got that experience. Not as good. I used to be brilliant. And I told this story before to you guys. I was good because I trained every day at it with my clients. And I was in a group. And I share this story with you all. I've shared it before, and and because a lot of those people are still around and they still know me, it's like they were all Reiki practitioners, and there was about I don't know 10 or 12. They invited me for me to do a full day of pure energy healing and teaching them what I've learned. And I sat one lady down and I scanned her as I was speaking to them, and I said, because this lady's got an issue here. And I went to the back at the side here, and she just looked at me and she says, how the hell did you know that? And I said, because I work with energy, I feel it, I understand it on the body. And that was it. They were all, okay, this guy's not full of BS. This guy knows what he's doing. And I do, and I did. But I've retired now and I don't do it anymore because it takes a lot of work. You've got to heal yourself. You've got to look after yourself. You've got to clear yourself from fear, worry. You've got to be focused. You've got to learn how to attune. You've got to learn how to channel. You've got to learn how to feel. And that's a constant thing that you have to keep doing. So I don't do that so much now. I teach this now. And I hope that people who learn what I teach will understand that and get it and say, Mark, you're right. I understand that because I've learned this and I've learned that, and I now know how to feel this. I know how to understand that. And that's it. Yeah. The more you do it, the more it happens, the more it becomes normal. And that's why I always say in here, this is normal, and out there is not normal. Everything out there is not normal. Everything here is. Okay, if you go to a forest, that's normal. But I'm saying the smart cities, the towns, the villages, all those people who are doing what they're doing, all the things that are happening, all the food that they're not buying because it's not food, and all the energy in the cosmos, that's all created by man now, manipulations, that's all wrong. It's all wrong. And everything here is right. Why? Because if you learn after 4 days of learning how to heal, how to work with crystals, how to understand oils and incense, how to learn how to see energy and feel it and heal people by way of the energy coming through you into your client, you just break into tears. It's like, I didn't know. And I'm saying, yeah, welcome to my world. Welcome to 20 years of my world. This is normal. This is how we should be. And out there is how we shouldn't be. So I'm glad to this day, even in a few days' time from now, we're doing a course on not just crystals, but how to heal people with crystals, how to understand crystals, how to learn energy, how to learn how to use crystals and work with them, and how it changes lives and heals people. I do that constantly through the year. These are courses that I love doing now, and it's phenomenal. And I will link below the next course, which is on the 9th, and it's 4 days, and you don't have to come here. It's online, so you're watching videos, but it feels like you're there, and it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. People love it. We've had thousands of people who have interacted on these 4-day courses and now have changed their life, and they're working full-time as a healer, and it's great, and they're changing the world. Or they might be a mother healing their children. You get so much from these courses. But going back to energy, everything is energy. And if you can feel your energy, if you can connect to your energy through who you are, not through the spacesuit, but if you can feel, like my energy now is pretty good. My head, a little bit here, a bit fuzzy because I was next to a tower. So it's a bit fuzzy, but it's getting better and stronger. My heart has never been as strong. Little bit of sadness from a situation that I'm going through now, but it's getting stronger all the time, and I'm accepting it, and I'm not allowing it to affect me long term. So I'm saying, okay, I get it, I feel it, but let it go, because it doesn't serve you. It's making you feel sick and ill. It's lowering your immune system. You're not feeling good. So what I do about that is I cleanse. I use Palo Santo sticks, which I've been using for 10 years now. Negative cleansing energy sticks. I use that around my body for at least 3 minutes. That strengthens my body. Then I'll use an oil. At the moment, I'll be using a perfect oil called Golden Heart. So I rub that on my heart, strengthens the heart, makes me stronger, clears the worry and fears of certain situations that are happening through the day. And it clears the worry and guilt of that I should be thinking about it. No, you shouldn't. It doesn't make it any better. When you think about bad things, you just create them and make them even worse. Everything will be fine. It's all as it should be. Don't worry. There's always a good outcome. And when there is, how did you cope with the good outcome in the end? Did you suffer through it all the way? Or did you say it's all going to be fine? And it was. That's how you create a good energy around you. When you are in the company of a negative energy, my suggestion is feel it. Thank you very much, but see you later. I'm not willing to ruin my energy and what I've done through the day and eaten, looked after myself, kept away from, for now, for you to corrupt that and cause any issue. Now, some people will say my energy is strong enough that I can be with this person. And now you are going to time yourself on that. So it might be an hour, it might be 10 minutes, but there will be a point you'll say, I can't cope with this anymore. And that is because you was feeling it now. So your energy is being corrupted. So it's like pushing into your energy till it hits you and affects you in a personal and physical way. People do that. I won't do that. I'm not doing that anymore. I don't need to do that. I'm not waiting for it to affect me. I'm saying, you know what? There's billions of people in this world. I'd rather be around the billions of people who are happy, who have good energy. I don't need to be negative energy. And that's it. And like I said, I'm not a bad person anymore in the sense of, oh, well, you should be healing them. You're a healer. Well, if somebody needs my help, I will. But most people don't want it. And what happens is when you give that energy of healing, what happens is they go and continue doing the bad things and the wrong things to then come back again. And it's like, this is a waste of energy because this person isn't learning anything. This person is just coming back for more, like an addict would do. And that's not good. It's not healthy for you at all. And it's not good for them too. So always help people that you know will receive that energy of healing, that love, and that will utilize it and say, thank you so much for that. I was feeling really bad and you lifted me up, and then I was fine, and I realized something and I got better, and you know what, that day you really helped. That's the people you heal, not the people who are constantly saying the same conversation and they have the same negative energy. Just leave them be. Just leave them be. And just be thankful for who they are. Love you with all my heart, but see you later with love. Goodbye with love. I send you away with love. I don't send them away. I don't tell them to go away, but I get up and I go away with love because I don't want that anger. I don't want to feel bad. I can sit anywhere. I can go anywhere. I can be anything and do anything I want. So I make that decision, that conscious choice. Lemon House has mist. That mist is fantastic. I'll tell you now, you can go and buy as many different aura sprays as you want, but let me tell you, the mist is what I worked with for 20 years, and that mist, even today, keeps adding amazing blessed water from all over this planet, the most sacred places in the world. So that is something that you can always take with you and use. I use it all the time. Why? I use it on my clients all the time afterwards. It's a finisher and it's a beginner. It's a cleanser. It's like rain. It falls on you and clears away when it's natural rain, of course, not manipulated by HAARP and DARPA and all those crazy nutters. When you cleanse and clear it away from you, you find that it's like being washed. It's like going to the sea and the negative energy is being taken away. So that is a wonderful thing. That spray is incredible. Basically, you fill, every time you go down halfway, you fill it back up again. So it's a never-ending bottle. Just never forget to let it go down to nothing, because then it's gone, right? So even if there's a few drops in there, it still has the same frequency and energy if you fill it back up with natural water, not tap water. Distilled water's fine. Spring water is fine, but not with tap water. It kills it. So yeah, lemonhouse.com, www.lemonhouse.com, and it's called Sacred Mist. I don't sell it on my website because I wanted to help Lemon House, and I get nothing for it. So just so you know, whatever they sell, that helps their company grow because they're doing great things. They've planted thousands of trees. They've gone into schools to give children crystals. They're a great company and I support them with all my heart. So yeah, that's a wonderful thing. You buy it once and it's there for life. There it is, mist, Lemon House mist. So yeah. Wow. Wow. Yeah. My God. I needed that round my head. Yeah. I needed that round my head after spending 15 minutes giving a live talk about how dangerous they are for children, the deaf towers. I needed that then. I should have put it on before I came back. But anyway, that's it. I hope this video serves you well. If you want to know what crystals are good for protection, it depends what protection you are wanting to protect yourself from. So there's protection of spirit trapped in between two worlds, protection from like somebody who's angry, protection from somebody who is always jealous, protection from negative energy, what I've been talking about, and so on. Every crystal has a protection, but depending on what your issue is what you need. So my feeling is, if you go to a crystal shop, the crystal will normally call out to you because your spirit, your soul knows what energy is needed. So you will be attracted to it. So the crystal always calls you. The crystal always calls you, not the other way around. So when you feel the energy of that crystal, you think that's the one. A lot of people go to markbajerski.com and click shop, and then they scroll down and they can spend an hour scrolling down and looking at all the crystals. Then all of a sudden one crystal will jump out at them and say, that's the crystal I need. Next week, next month might be a different crystal. So depending on what you need is what happens. It's a bit like reading a book. You can read a book and halfway through the book, something will just jump out at you and you go, oh my God. And you realize that's what you need at that moment. So your soul, your spirit sees through and feels what it needs. The crystal always chooses you. Thank you so much, guys. I hope this video serves you well. That's me done for the day. I've done 3 videos now. I hope you've enjoyed them. The Vera Cruz video will be coming up shortly. That's an amazing crystal that I love with all my heart. I'll put up that after this one. And that's me done for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, whatever you're doing. And thank you with all my heart for trusting and supporting in my shamanic tools that I've used for 20 years. They've served me so well, and each crystal that I work on with my hand and putting the right energy in there, I hope you feel it and it helps you along this journey. And thank you to Lemon House for getting that amazing mist out there to the people who need it. Have a great day.